Hello! What you see here is the Thumler's Ultra Vibe 18. And inside, what do you see? Looks like some suds. That's a good sign. That can only mean one thing. I'm finally done with my 8 days of polishing and doing the final washout, which means these rocks are done. So let me get these things rinsed off, dried off, and we'll take a look at them. Here they are. Here's our latest batch of polished rocks. Let's take a closer look and see if any of these turned out okay. Let's start with a couple of fossil rocks. As you can see, this one took a nice shine. It didn't tumble perfectly smooth because these little fossil shells like to break apart when this is tumbling. But as you can see, the main surface of it takes a brilliant polish. This one pretty much did the same thing. See those little fossils in there? Next up, we have a couple of pieces of chert and banded chert. This always takes a nice shine, as you can see. I love tumbling this stuff. It never disappoints. Really good shine, mirror-like shine with this stuff. This is just a plain piece of some sort of chert. Look at that, I missed a spot there, darn it. Maybe even with a little fossil in it right there. Wouldn't surprise me. I believe these are the North Dakota Prairie agates. I like how these turned out. They took a great shine. I believe I have several more of these tumbling right now, so this excites me. Took a lot of time in the coarse grit to get them smooth like this, but I think it was worth it. I think I only had this one piece of petrified wood in this batch. It's not too interesting. It's one of those pieces that has lots of the little tiny pits in it. This is common with, well, some types of petrified wood. Other types of petrified wood I can tumble to a mirror-like finish in a perfectly smooth surface, but not this one. This is a beautiful Jasp Agate. So you can clearly see the combination of the Jasper and the Agate material and the nice patterns that it forms. Here's a good example of a rock that I didn't want to tumble perfectly smooth. It was just going to get smaller and smaller with these crystal vugs. There are probably more even inside these, so you gotta stop at some point and just polish the sucker. Anyway, I think this one turned out really nice. Lots of interesting detail in it, as you can see. Here's a large chunk of what I call a Texas agate. I know that's not an official name, but these are the types of agates that I find around here in the rock beds along the rivers. As you can see, it takes an awesome shine, and it has lots of cool detail in it. I'll have you know that this rock took me, maybe 4, 5, 6 months to tumble in the coarse grit to get it the way I wanted it. Oh, and look at that, after all that, it's not perfect. Look at that. Doggone it. Oh well, I can live with this. Great shine on this though. I'm not sure what kind of rock this is. I like it. I don't know where I got it. It almost looks like brecciated something or other. It doesn't take a super high polish, but it's still a good polish. You can see some of the areas undercut slightly. Still a good looking stone. I want to say this was a piece of a thunder egg that I cut. So that would be the rhyolite with the chalcedony in it. I believe that's what this is. Takes a pretty nice shine. Here are a couple of small pieces of amethyst. Yeah. Purple crystal. What more can you say? I threw in several of these Agate Slabs. I actually got these from the local Austin Gem and Mineral Society club meeting. We had an auction last month and there was a bag full of these. What I did with these is I did not put them in the coarse grit. These went straight to the vibratory tumbler starting with the 220 grit. So that's why you'll still see some flaws, but overall I think they took a nice shine. Always got to have a piece of tiger's eye. Not too interesting. A little bit of chatoyancy in there. Here are a few end cuts that I also picked up at the monthly meeting with the Austin Gem and Mineral Society. And again, I just threw these in the vibratory tumbler starting at 220 grit just to see what they would do. Can't pick that one up. There we go. So, not too special. This is just a big pile of small Jasper pieces. Lots of this is just the desert Jasper, you know, the picture Jasper, I suppose. It turned out pretty nice. I got these from several different sources, so I don't remember exactly what they all are, but they took a nice shine. This little pile is made up of nothing but little agates. I bet you recognize some of these. That, of course, is a Botswana agate. Always turns out nice. Beautiful banding. The secret to these is just to keep tumbling them in the coarse grit until they get perfectly smooth like this. Here's another one. Maybe not perfectly smooth, but darn close. I've got a lot more of these going right now in the coarse grit. I'm excited about getting them done with that so I can get them polished like this and see what kind of patterns they reveal. I have several of these Botswana agates. They also turn out very nice. Very dark, so it's hard to make out the banding in them, but they usually do have some sort of banding. I think this one's also a Botswana agate. I decided not to keep grinding this one down to perfection because it had so much interesting detail the way it was. I'm not sure what this one is. It almost looks like a piece of crazy lace, although I don't think it is. It's probably another, it could be Botswana, I suppose. This, I think, is just a little chunk of carnelian. This is clearly some sort of lace agate. I think most people recognize this as Brazil agate. Brazil agate always takes a great shine. I love this stuff. I'm not sure what kind of agate this is, but it took a lovely shine. You always want to look for that mirror finish. I feel like this is a little Bahia agate. At least that's what it reminds me of. I'm not 100% sure, but if I had to guess, that's what I would say. Now here's a rock that did not take a good shine, and it's really unfortunate. It has such nice color in it, but as you can see, it has that sort of, I don't know, coarser texture that would not polish up nicely. It's too bad. You see that blue, really pretty. Don't know what it is. Dark red. Oh well. Here are all of the smalls that were in that group. This looks like a little Mozambique agate right here. Some interesting little stones in here. This one did not polish very well, and it undercut tremendously in that lighter area. I think this was some kind of jasper. I like the colors in that piece. This never shines up too well for me. It's unfortunate too, it just has such a great design. Well, there you have it. There's my latest batch. I hope you enjoyed looking at these with me. I think we had a couple of good ones in here, a couple of average ones, and then some duds, but that's pretty standard with rock tumbling. I think most of you will agree with that. Be sure and check back. I will have more rock tumbling and lapidary type videos coming out very soon. Thanks so much for watching.